1988, Silicon Valley. An engineer named Eli Harari has spent years staring at one problem. How do you store data without a spinning disk, without a battery, and without it disappearing the moment you turn the power off? He has an answer. He calls three colleagues and says, "Let's build it." They name the company SanDisk. Nobody outside their office has ever heard of it, but inside that office they believe they are about to change the way the world stores information forever. By 1991 they'd already built the world's first flash-based solid-state drive, a 20 megabyte drive the size of a deck of cards for IBM, priced at $1,000. People laughed, but the technology worked. Then in 1995 something happened that changed everything. A letter arrived from Sun Microsystem, the tech giant, saying the name SanDisk was too close to their brand. They had to change it. They picked SanDisk. And on November 8th, 1995, the same day they renamed the company, they went public on the Nasdaq. $10 a share, 16 million shares sold. The stock market had a new name to watch. Here's where SanDisk gets really interesting. In the late 1990s, digital cameras explode in popularity, and every single digital camera needs a memory card to store photos. SanDisk is already making them. Suddenly millions of people are buying little SanDisk cards at electronics stores without even knowing the company's name. Revenue hits $1 billion. The stock goes from $10 to over $100 in just a few years, a 1,000% gain. This tiny chip company had accidentally become the backbone of the entire digital camera industry. But then, the dot-com crash hits. The stock collapses. Then the memory chip market floods with supply and prices crater. Then the 2008 financial crisis. SanDisk's stock falls more than 80% from its highs. 3 times in 10 years this company looks like it might be finished. But each time, something saves them. A new product. A new market. The USB drive replaces the floppy disk. SanDisk makes it. The smartphone explodes. SanDisk makes the tiny micro SD card inside every phone. The MP3 player takes off. SanDisk makes the Sansa, the second most popular music player in America behind the iPod. Every time the world moves, SanDisk is already there. Here's the part most people never talk about. SanDisk wasn't just selling chips, they were quietly building a legal empire. Every time they invented something new in flash memory, they filed a patent. By 2014, they had over 5,000 patents. That means if any competitor wanted to make a flash memory product, a phone, a camera, a USB drive, there was a very good chance SanDisk owned a piece of that technology. They were collecting royalties from companies all over the world. It was like owning the toll booth on every road in the digital storage highway. By 2015, SanDisk has become too important to ignore. Western Digital, one of the biggest hard drive companies on the planet, makes an offer. $19 billion. That's $78 per share for a stock that started at $10 in 1995. Anyone who bought in on day one and held for 20 years made nearly 700% on their money, not counting all the peaks along the way where that number was even higher. SanDisk accepts the offer. The brand disappears inside Western Digital, and just like that, one of the great storage companies in history becomes a division. But this story doesn't end there. In February 2025, Western Digital spins SanDisk back out as its own public company again. Same name, same ticker, SNDK. And what happens? The stock opens at $38, and by the end of 2025 it has gone up 559% in 1 year, because the world suddenly realized that AI needs enormous amounts of storage, and SanDisk makes the chips that provide it. The company that started in a tiny Silicon Valley office in 1988 is now worth over $200 billion. SanDisk didn't just survive, it came back. SanDisk's lesson is simple and brutal. Sometimes the best companies aren't the ones that never fall. They're the ones that keep showing up in the right place at the right time. Floppy disk dies. SanDisk is there. Digital camera explodes. SanDisk is there. Smartphone takes over. SanDisk is there. AI needs storage. SanDisk is there. Every decade had a new reason for this company to matter, and it always found one. That's the SanDisk story. Subscribe for the next episode, and if you learned something today, share it with someone who would never have guessed a memory card company had a story this good.